Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson, with some amazing news. Mayor Johnson has just made Lori Lightfoot look smart. That's right. I mean, if you can make Beetlejuice look smart, yeah, you got something going on with you. But this guy's so bad, and you're going to see this through the report. The basis of it is they have this technology in Chicago called ShotSpotter, and it's to help them identify when gun crimes are taking place. Now, I am not pro-surveillance, so I don't think this thing ever should have existed. But this is about a contract and a guy who can't negotiate it. And I think that they probably were excited about having this for the Democrat National Convention because he was going to keep it, but now he can't. It's a wild report. Remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel. We have a lot of fun over here. You're going to join some great like-minded patriots. And if you can, add a comment down below.
Mayor Brandon Johnson is ending the city's use of the controversial gunfire surveillance system known as ShotSpotter. The city's contract with the company behind ShotSpotter expires on Friday, and the police will stop using the technology September 22nd, about a month after the Democratic National Convention. A city statement said, "Moving forward, Chicago will deploy its resources on the most effective strategies and tactics proven to accelerate the current downward trend in violent crime." For years, grassroots organizations targeted ShotSpotter.
Now, this is so disingenuous because they obviously want it there for the Democrat National Convention because the streets of Chicago are not safe. But they are trying to then say that crime is going down, gun crime is going down in Chicago, which it is, after they made the situation so bad. Now it's receding a little bit. It's like this. You take something and take it to a 10 that was at a 5, back it off to a 9 and say, hey, it's not as bad as it used to be. You're winning. I just can't believe this stuff. But the next part of the report gets even better because he wants to keep it around for the DNC, but now he can't because ShotSpotter took a big hit in their stock, and now they're giving him the middle finger.
On Tuesday, Mayor Brandon Johnson said he would give the technology company a 6-month extension, but end the deal after the Democratic National Convention.
Now, late today, multiple sources tell NBC5 ShotSpotter has rejected the city's offer with that extension. So where does it all stand? Let's go to our political reporter, Marianne Ahern. She's joining us now with the very latest. Marianne?
Allison and Stefan, busy afternoon. City Hall has not responded to our repeated calls today.
It's absolutely beautiful. Look, they don't want to renew the contract. No wonder he made their stock tank. He makes this big announcement like a moron. He's got no leverage left in the negotiation process, and now nobody wants to return calls from City Hall. I wonder why.
However, several aldermen have spoken with those tied to Sound Thinking, the company that now owns ShotSpotter. Those aldermen are concerned the company will turn off the technology Friday since there's no deal in place. ShotSpotter alerts police departments to gunshots fired through acoustic sensors. That company took a stock hit Tuesday after Mayor Brandon Johnson announced he would fulfill a campaign promise and give the company a 6-month extension, but then not renew their deal. The mayor's announcement before he had a deal signed with the company.
Now, this guy's probably like Fannie Willis. He likes a Grey Goose, and he's going to Napa Valley and all this stuff, but the bottom line is, he maybe should be going to some negotiation classes instead, because nobody negotiates this poorly in a position like this. The city of Chicago is larger than many countries, and this guy acts like this.
The city has lost all its leverage when you make an announcement that you're canceling ShotSpotter and extending it until September without having a signed contract.
Likewise, Alderman Chris Taliaferro is also concerned.
It is a great loss for the city of Chicago, particularly as we prepare to go into the summer months and as we go into a Democratic National Convention already with a police department that is undersized by at least 2,000 officers.
Okay, wait. So did they just admit that defunding the police wasn't a good idea? That having Soros-backed liberal prosecutors who don't prosecute criminals is a bad idea? They're down over 2,000 officers in Chicago? See, this is what happens after the whole COVID defund the police nonsense. Now we've got a situation where they don't have enough officers. They've got a Democrat National Convention and they're worried about security. This is crazy, but it gets even crazier when you hear what Mayor Johnson has to say next.
Good afternoon, Mayor. I'll be quick. First question, if the city isn't considering a gunshot detection alternative to ShotSpotter, then what should replace it? Will it still be a form of surveillance technology?
Well, and thank you for that question. As I've said, the violence that we experience in Chicago is horrific.
Okay, get ready, because this is how they always tee it up. Look, the gun problem, the gun crime in Chicago, it's horrific, people. It's horrific. It's terrible. We created this massive problem, but don't worry, big government's going to come in and fix it for you. So first you create the problem, then you offer your terrible solution.
And though shootings are down, homicides are down, there's still a lot of work to be done. My plan and my vision for the city of Chicago is comprehensive. It's going to take more than what has been done to get to the results that I'm committed to see come to fruition.
So there are key words that these idiot politicians utilize. And one of those key words is comprehensive. That's right, because comprehensive means we've got such great plans, people, and we're so smart, and we're really thinking this through, that we're just comprehensive. And what it means is that they're not willing to do the very things that actually stop the crime. All these Democrat mayors use the same code words. And see, they talk about the mental health crisis that they created. Look at these last mass shootings. What do these people have in common? And look at the ones before then. Most of them are on some form of psychotropic medication, and they are confused about their identity. Let's just say that.
And so investing in people is our best pathway forward. Now, are there other technological advances, that I may not be aware of that provide a non-police response to respond to emergency? Because 40% of the calls that come through are mental health crises. There could be some forms of technology that can give us a response so that EMT can show up and mental health crisis providers can show up. I'm not aware of any. But again, the approach here is to build a comprehensive approach. And that's what we've done. And so I don't want us to fall into the trap and the behavior of old, where we only look at policing as the only form to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago.
I'm curious if you polled the residents of Chicago what they think would actually give them a better, stronger, safer Chicago. Is it less cops, because that's what Brandon Johnson is alluding to here? Is it technology to somehow cause you to know if there's a mental health crisis on the scene? How would that technology work? You must have to chip everybody at that point, because it's not going to be through some sort of sound recognition device. Look, I'm not for the surveillance state. I never have been. I think ShotSpotter's a bad idea. I think they need to get rid of it. This is a story about his stupidity in negotiating, their disingenuous nature in saying that they don't want it, but they actually do want it for the Democrat National Convention because there's a real problem in Chicago, and then their lack of policing, their lack of being willing to actually lock up criminals. They continually blame guns and not the gun criminals. At the very same point, they are not willing to lock up the gun criminals because then they can continue blaming the guns. They take political victory through the death of American citizens. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. It's gross. And that's what I hate so much about politics. Hey, remember, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe, smash that like on the way out, and check out my sponsor, MyPillow. That's right, mypillow.com. Promo code Lumberjack for big savings. And check out those Giza sheets. I just tried the flannel ones last night. First time I've ever used the flannel sheets. Phenomenal. I loved them. Anyways, catch you on the next episode.